Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to yet another H&H video. We're back here at Kelham Hall for the first auction of 2026. And Kelham, if you've not been here before, is this beautiful Victorian Gothic mansion. So Damien, you know a bit more about the history about it.
It was Gilbert Scott design, so if you're more familiar with his work at St Pancras, the St Pancras Hotel.
Oh, just St Pancras?
Yeah, Gothic revival. So the largest private residence he ever designed. Stunning, stunning building. We're fortunate enough to be here 3 times this year. Tomorrow's sale, we're great. We've got 120 odd lots to go under the hammer. So great cross section. We're going to enjoy talking to you about them.
We're going to do things a little bit differently today. It's not just going to be me and Damien are going to walk around, and we're going to do a bit of a chat about some of the lots just to see what you think as well. So come with us, let's show you a few things that we have. So obviously this one's going to be the star of the show for many of you, and this is a 1937 Frazer Nash-BMW 328 Roadster that we've been very kindly given the opportunity to sell without reserve for a lady who had it with her husband from 1968. And how many cars do we get that have that longer ownership, Damien? I mean, it's...
You just don't. I mean, for that to have been in the current ownership, 68 through to, I mean, you're talking, what, best part of 60 years now.
Yeah.
So it spent more time in their ownership than it had beforehand. It was only, you know, in other people's hands for 31 years. So, and again, I mean, there were what, 48 of these in right-hand drive?
Yeah.
I think 46 with the Frazer Nash supplied cars.
Yeah.
And they just were epic.
Exactly.
I mean, in terms of the 2-litre class before World War II, once these came out, if you turned up, you lost.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it. And the thing I like about them is, to me, that, and bear with me on this, they're a little bit like an Austin 7 on steroids.
Right, okay, you're going to have to give me some context. I mean, I can't see it, but go on.
The reason for that is BMW, as you know, started out with motorcars making copies of the Austin 7 under license, the Dixie.
Yeah, of course.
The Dixie has an A-frame chassis. What's this got, Lucas?
It's got an A-frame chassis, yeah, right. I can see what you mean.
It is absolutely about lightweight. The thing about this car that gave it the edge was not the power. I mean, don't get me wrong, 40 brake horsepower per litre in the 30s was going some, but it wasn't outrageous. It was the weight. This beast literally weighs half as much as that Alvis or that Lagonda.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Literally just half. And again, it's not just that it's an A-frame chassis, it's tubular. And the chassis on this is just so much lighter than the channel section chassis that you got underneath an Alvis or a Lagonda or a Bentley. It's just, the difference is enormous. And the tubular structure, those 2 longerons, you know, you've got something there that was then carried on after the war. Look underneath a Connaught Grand Prix car, look underneath a Lister Sports Racer. They've got tubular main chassis members just like this car. So it was very, very advanced for its day. And just a great thing. And this is a first series car. So as you know, it's got what gearbox, Lucas?
Hearth. No, ZF, isn't it? Yeah, ZF if it's the first one.
So the first generation had originally a ZF gearbox and a lighter back axle. They built the thing so damn light that for the second generation, they went for a heavier duty Hearth gearbox and a heavier back axle. Now this one's had a Bristol engine and gearbox transplanted into it, but it does have correct type BMW engine with it and the lightweight rear axle.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's fabulous. We know the body's undergone some modifications over time.
But that was the 60s though, wasn't it? You know.
Well, also it was raced. I mean, people had fun with this. This did the Welsh Rally. Is that right?
It did, yeah. Well, so about that.
Okay.
So the Welsh Rally. So the chap who owned it at the time. So it was first owned by a chap called Captain Grant, and then I think he lent it to his mate. There's a bit of confusion about his pre-war history, who owned it, but I think he lent it to his mate who went to participate in the Welsh Rally. He might have had a bit too much to drink the night before, because although he was entered, he failed to start.
Oh, okay.
It was there, but it wasn't there. And obviously, the Welsh Rally back then, so you could start at pretty much any point in the UK, evidently. So I think he felt so. But it did go to the Lewis Speed Trials, though.
Yeah, I love those period photos. I think that's great, where there's obviously 2 of them that decided to do the speed trials. Yeah. And you've got the passenger in some of the shots, just crouched down. in the passenger seat, but so you have to look twice to find him.
Yeah.
I just think that's fabulous. And yeah, as we say, raced after the war. Body's not 100% original, but you know.
But there is another car like this as well, though, because I think there's a chap in Nottingham during the 60s who was doing them.
Okay.
So, and it's pretty much all the, I mean, you know, it's still a beautiful thing, right? But I think all the bits that are slightly incorrect about it, it was also, you can see it on that other car, because I remember seeing it. So it's, you know, proves that it's not the only one.
Also, what a passport. I mean,
yeah.
That in terms of the events you can do, so correct me if I'm wrong, Mille Miglia Storica,
yeah,
Le Mans Classic.
And it did the Mille Miglia in 1972, I think it was, which was
one of the very first
revivals of it.
Ones. So Mille Miglia Storica, Le Mans Classic. I'm sure if you know the right people, you get this to the revival.
Yeah.
And I've been told if you know the right people, Monaco Historics. So, I mean, just wow. In terms of you want to go to a blue ribbon event round the world, that's your entry ticket.
Or alternatively, if you don't fancy competing in it, do what the vendor did, which is drive across Europe in it and go camping. Because that's what you can do with this car. It is the most modern pre-war car, really. Or, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they
I have to put that. It may be, but what about its older sister?
Yeah, the 319. I mean, that's, as I was saying, that the 328, yes, okay, it may or may not have done the Welsh Rally. This car, wow. I mean, the competition history is just something else, isn't it? Absolutely flat chat pretty much every weekend for how many years during the 1930s? I mean, it's nuts.
Until BMWs became slightly frowned upon for reasons.
So, but I mean, again, this is a very, very similar recipe to the 328. Very, very similar chassis, less advanced, less well-developed engine, but again, still a 2 litre straight six. So, I mean, they are siblings, and this is just a lovely, lovely thing. Nice bit of patina to it as well, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the vendor has used this. He's I'm going to say this nicely, he's a serial hoarder of vintage cars, and he's well known within the VSCC. He does trials quite a bit. I think he's trialled this, as this has been, it was, you know, in period too. So he's used it, and you know, it fires up well. It's a used example. Okay, you could probably make it. There's investment room in it, I think, at the guide price. If you did want to put it correct, then you could make it that car.
Also, just one of those quirks. Forgive me again. One of 26.
Yeah.
One of 26 right-hand drive cars. That's one of 48 right-hand drive cars. That's the more iconic. So even though this is rarer, that's a lot more valuable.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird quirks. Isn't it?
Exactly. And just as usable, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And obviously you've got the height. If you did want to trial it or what have you, it has got, you know, that much more give to it. It's a bit more vintage, isn't it, than the 328. You can certainly see the development, but I think we're lucky to have both of them in the sale.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, we're spoilt really with 1930s cars, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, really. So we've got this Alvis Speed 20 over here with the SC, which again, very, very, very handsome thing. You can really see what Charles Follett was doing when he said to Alvis, you make some very, very good cars, but they're a little bit staid.
Yeah.
Let's redraw things with the Speed 20 models, especially. Let's go for that low slung look. And they still have that very elegant swoop to them. And again, straight six engine, 2.5 litre. This, funnily enough, they're about 87 brake horsepower, so not much more powerful than the 2 litre and the 328.
Yeah.
But a lot more torque. But again, independent front end and all synchro gearbox, so quite advanced for the 30s.
Yeah.
And this one's had, again, I think it's had a lot of money spent with Red Triangle.
Yeah, I think they've done quite a bit to the engine and everything on it recently. I mean, I pulled it into the hall yesterday, and it felt good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It felt like it lives up to the invoices that it's got on file for it anyway. So.
No, it's just a lovely, lovely thing. But upstaged looks-wise by this
Oh,
Lagonda.
don't be unfair to the Alvis.
Oh, yeah, come on, this is the Playboy. This is an elegant gentleman.
I mean,
this
it's
is the
the 30s.
cab.
Yeah, this is 1930. 1935,
37 or
36.
whatever, yeah.
This is Bruce Wayne if he was around then, isn't it? If you know, if Bruce Wayne meets the Great Gatsby, I think is how to describe it.
At that time, the trend had switched really towards drop head coupes. So Tourers like this were rarer. But then, in France, the French coach builders, so Figoni and Falaschi, Le Tonneau Marchand, there was some really beautiful designs coming out of France.
Yeah.
And you could tell almost Lagonda, well, we can do rakish too.
Yeah.
We can do sporty too. Look at this. So I think it's a great looking car. And I know this isn't one of the originals.
No. Which is funny because 24 out of the original 25 survive the original.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But it's been beautifully done. It really has. I mean, what a labour of love.
I mean, it's been done by somebody who is very, very well known, again, in vintage circles, has been building vintage cars for a long time. He built it for himself, but as with, unfortunately, a lot of the conversations we have at the moment, he has got to that age where he does need to start thinking about whittling down his collection. This car, so I can give you a bit of a background on it. It was originally an SB3 saloon that was actually fitted with a Gardner diesel engine. So the original 4.5 litre Meadows block had been frost damaged years and years ago.
Do you know, it's weird.
Yeah.
A lot of Lagondas were taken on for diesel engine evaluation.
It could have been one of those then.
We've sold 3 in the past that have all had Gardner diesels in them at one stage. And actually a client of ours, sadly, who's no longer with us, who specifically restored one with its Gardner diesel in it, and was pleased as punch you could get 30s a gallon out of it.
There you go, yeah. You might not get that out of this though.
No. Not if you drive it in the spirit to be attended. I mean, I love some of the detailings, just like these little darts that are let into the leather work inside.
With this, I mean, I know it's not a real repeat, but it is pretty much, in my opinion anyway, as close as you're going to get to a real one. So the vendor, things like this. So that is an original glove box lock, which was specific to repeat. This mixture control, specific to repeat. The seats, so for the 1936 saloons, they also had this special tilt forward design, which only repeat and the saloons had, but the saloons were 2 inches wider because the body was wider. So the vendor took all of the upholstery off, narrowed them by 2 inches and put them back together, and they have all the right fixings for, for your adjusters and all that sort of thing on there.
That is a fabulous level of detail, isn't it? Really
it's above and beyond, really.
Yeah.
And then, it's got an Alvis full synchromesh gearbox as well, which frankly just massively improves its drivability. It's now got a 4.5 litre Meadows back in it, which was built by I think it was Bishop's Grey engine, if I recall, and then it was owned by a chap called Richard Ray Smith, who raced his LG45.
Right.
And that engine from that car is now in this, which is about 140 horsepower, dynagraphed. So
that's I mean, again, that's
potent.
That's going some, and if you wanted to, they can get those engines to well over 200 brake now.
Exactly.
But wow, just so stylish. And I just love the kind of that green British theme going through to the Aston across the way.
So not only is it green, but it's sticking with the Lagonda theme as well, technically, isn't it? Aston Martin Lagonda.
Absolutely. From, heralding from that time in the company's history when they were lurching from one bankruptcy to another, bless them. So, this is post the David Brown era. Company developers had hold of the company. They weren't able to invest. Then it went back into another ownership, with Victor Gauntler heavily involved. They found some money, but this model, the Vantage, was just developed on an absolute shoestring. So the engineer behind this actually was testing some of the mules, the development cars at Aston Martin Owners Club meetings.
Right, okay, fair
and
enough.
Surprising the members if they were in a standard V8 going down the straight at Silverstone, but just doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, so they found a lot of extra power out of the engine. They did the wind tunnel testing at Mira, blanked off the grille,
we better tell people what it is. So this is a V580. So
V580 is the engine code. I mean, so they started with a V540, it goes through the V580, they ended up with the X-Pack engine. They're all Vantage engines. The V580 is a bit smoother, it's got a bit more mid-range to it, it's a little bit more powerful than a V540, a bit less powerful than an X-Pack, but these were hand-built brute in a suit. I mean, they really were.
It felt like it yesterday when I brought it over here from where it got dropped off, and it was, it feels it's like it's got all the things that you want from a muscle car, because I think it's fair to call it, and it's a GT, but it's a muscle car as well. It's got all those things that you'd expect, like that. It feels like you've got a fist in your back when you want to go somewhere, but it does it with grace, which is the Aston thing, and only Astons do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the fact that when that was new, the magazines were road testing it against like a Lamborghini Countach or a Ferrari BB512 Boxer or Porsche 930 Turbo, and this would out-accelerate them.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at it, look at the size of it, look at the road presence. And again, I love the fact that the vendor drove this to the sale.
Yeah.
He bought it to drive. He bought it because he's slightly obsessed with sunroofs. And it took him a very long time to find a V8 Vantage with a factory-fitted sunroof, which is ultra, ultra rare. But he's fortunate enough to have a lot of Astons over the years, used a lot of specialists, has a lot of time for David Eales at Orselli, gave it to David, not quite with a blank checkbook, but with a brief to make the car instantly usable, jump in it and go. So that's what's been done. I think it's got, trying to think, it's probably about £60,000 worth of bills with Orselli, something like that. I might be off. And it's had a recent repaint in that Balmoral metallic. So it's just a fabulous thing. And the history file is great as well, because you can chart these cars and what they were to people. So among the early owners was a company that decided that it would buy its two chief directors a V8 Vantage each, because obviously you don't want one to get upset or anything like that. So I think this was the green car, the other one was red.
Right.
But
Are you and Colette getting ideas?
I don't think we'd get Aston Martin Signet, let alone a V8 Vantage. Maybe an Igo.
Yeah, you can try.
But I think very, very, elegant in a slightly thuggish way, which is not what you can say of that beautiful pagoda you've consigned.
It's awesome. Sorry, but it is. I know it's not completely and utterly the most concourse thing in the world, but I'm quite confident to, I'll throw my hat in the ring to say it's the best one I've seen, in my opinion.
It's a lovely, lovely car, and I think we'll have to make you show Martin the engine bay.
Yeah. I mean, there you are. Clips on your side, so it's a beautiful car. It's an original UK right-hand drive car. There's been 3 owners from new. 2 of those were a father and son, and the most recent owner, the vendor, he has given it, just preserved it so well. I mean, look at that engine bay. I've got photographs of this. It was done by John Haynes, Mercedes-Benz specialist, and I've got photos of it with every single nut and bolt lined up on their carpet, and they've just, even the way they've lined it up for the photographs, it's just obsession more than anything. I
think you were saying it's got Mercedes-Benz hoses?
Yeah, I mean, you can actually see it. So if you have a look, you might have to come round here for that, but the fact they've actually gone to the extent of, I've never seen anybody do this. Look, it's got proper Mercedes-Benz hoses on it, all branded. All of this zinking, it's all the correct gold-coloured zinc, which not many people do nowadays. And what makes this car also very special is the fact that it's not been welded within an inch of its life. It's had repairs to some of its panels, but it's not, all the panels are original.
Yeah, which is super, super rare for these, because they're tough little so-and-sos.
Yeah.
And they will keep motoring with an enormous amount of rot in them.
Yeah.
It is unusual to find one like that. And again, it's 280.
Yep.
So for some people, the best engine.
Yep.
Automatic, power steering, right-hand drive. Yeah, it's just a lovely, lovely thing.
Great colour scheme as well.
Well, yeah, and it's correct to have the wheel trims colour-coded to the hardtop.
Yep.
It's just a beautiful example.
I mean, not many of them you can get where you do this.
Yeah, that's that proper bank vault Mercedes-Benz build quality, isn't it? So
exactly.
Just lovely.
So we've been in the Grand Hall, so let's have a look in the inner marquee. I'm going to slide down this ramp here. So it's sunny out here now, isn't it? So look at that.
It is. It is. There's some fabulous cars in here.
Yeah.
Including this Messerschmitt.
Yeah, so we've that is definitely the smallest car of the sale, I would say. Or is the Isetta smaller? It's shorter, isn't it, the Isetta?
Yeah.
But in terms of height, I love this. So I've always wanted to drive one, but alas, we've never consigned one that's actually been running.
Okay.
And I got to fulfill my lifelong ambition and tick my bucket list to drive a Messerschmitt yesterday.
And is it as scary as it looks?
Absolutely. I mean, I've restored Lambrettas, so of course it's, yeah. I mean, I think it's more terrifying than that.
Okay.
Okay. But in a great way.
Okay.
It's great, you know.
I'm not convinced.
I'll tell you about the. There's a chap that I saw in Brighton one year, and I remember he came down. He usually turns up in a Lambretta with a sidecar, but he came down in his Messerschmitt, one of these with the soft top, one year, and he had his Great Dane perched in the back of it with her paws on top, and he was driving around, and he went to go and get a coffee. This is on Madeira Drive on the seafront in Brighton, and the Great Dane was literally just lapping up attention everywhere.
Wow.
Coolest thing I've seen ever. So
wow.
I love them.
That's a very, very relaxed Great Dane. So got the BMW Isetta next to it, and then the car that killed these off stone dead.
Massively, yeah.
Yeah, the design that managed
the Suez Crisis champion.
Absolutely, but the one that did for bubble cars, the Mini. You go from 2 seats, and this is not actually much longer than a Messerschmitt.
It really isn't, no.
To 4 seats, and that novel gearbox under the engine, transverse layout at the front.
A proper engine really as well, not a scooter engine, because they just had a 300cc two-stroke. This is a proper, well, this is a 997, is it this?
It is, yeah, it's a Mark 1 Cooper, whether it's 997 or 998, I don't know, but it's, just...
It's an early one, isn't it? Yeah. I think so, yeah.
And just a great thing. And this one in particular, I think it's been magazine featured, and it's really, really beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely, yeah.
A very, very, very nice example. Known to the Mini Cooper register by the looks of things, so... and that classic sort of almond green. Yeah,
I mean details like it's even got its, if they're not original, it's got proper Ace Silver Peak number plates on there and everything, like period correctness. I think it's pretty up there, I'd say.
It is, but yeah, in terms of condition.
Yeah, another 60s
not
icon.
Quite in this league, which is done.
Another microcar.
Done what, a massive 5 miles since it was finished.
Yeah,
and I know you had a good look at this yesterday.
I mean, I stuck my head right the way underneath this car yesterday, and it's a car which has it's been restored. Everything's been done.
Well, it was just you were saying the way they replicated, or the spot wells.
Yeah. On
the inlip of the wheel arches, to the back of the boot, the spare wheel well aperture, all that sort of thing. I mean, it's.
I mean, they've even used all the correct white nylock nuts underneath everything, which you're never going to see. Nobody's going to look underneath there unless you have it up on a ramp, or like me, you slide underneath it. They've gone to the extent of strange things, right? But on the diff plate, on the diff rear cover, it's got on the filler plug, the level plug. Rather than just painting it black like most people would do, they've gone to the extent of actually sending it off to be re-zinked, which is just, it's almost excessive. I mean, it's got a few modern bits and pieces, and as a car, it's not a concours car, is it? Mm-hmm. Let's face it. But as a car that is just beautiful to look at, has a few things on it, so you could use it if you want to. I don't think really you're going to get much better.
And the colour combination, that's the original colours.
Oh, it's to die for.
I mean, in 1962, that just must have been the absolute
pinnacle.
Yeah.
And this is an original UK right-hand drive car as well, by the way. This is not a conversion.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the UK cars, let's face it, they did rot, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one, if it was in that condition as a usual UK one, the bodywork has been done.
Oh yeah, no two ways about it. I mean, because when Abbey Panels were making the tubs, there was no provision for rust inhibition, rust proofing, anything like that. So you know, they were built often with a certain amount of moisture inside them. They trap moisture and they'd go.
They were built to a budget at the end of the E-types, weren't they? They were.
Yeah, but that's why William Lyons was so successful, because he was just producing these ultra glamorous designs, which were far more affordable than people thought.
Yeah, I've always said if they made less of these, or the same amount of these as they made an Aston DB4 or DB5, I think they probably would be more valuable, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, if it wasn't for the Bond thing, obviously.
Yeah, I don't. Again, you know, who are we to argue with Enzo Ferrari proclaiming it the most beautiful car in the world? So
exactly.
That was restored by a company called ASM. They've also restored this RS2000. I think they've done a lot of Fords over time.
Yeah.
And again, this is just lovely.
Yeah.
It really, really is a very, very sharp example. And again, a bit like the Jaguar. I mean, the Jaguar's 100 to 120. This is 40 to 50. In restoration terms these days, that doesn't get you very far.
No, not at all.
I can't imagine going out and buying an RS2000, giving it to them and saying, I want it back in this condition for anything like the guide price.
No, exactly.
Just fab. And again, slightly unusual colour for one of these.
And it is the original colour scheme as well.
Yeah. With the fishnet headrests.
Yeah, I mean, you come and have a look at this interior. It is, I think, to die for is actually quite a nice thing to say about it, because it really is that lovely.
That's period perfect, isn't it? It really is. You know, if that is absolute peak 1962, this is what, peak 1980, is it?
Something like that, yes.
Yes, it is 1980, so just...
Hang on. Your memory amazes me sometimes, you know that.
And, you know, another car that's been built with a lot of love is this GTA Evocation. You know, that has had...
GTA Evocation.
Absolutely.
Now your memory's failing you.
It is, it's me age. So, original right-hand drive car.
Yep.
This has been done more as a sort of fast road, possibly sort of occasional track day car. It's got an awful lot of Alfaholics bits on it.
Yeah.
And again,
which is so fashionable now as well. And
I mean,
and we know how much the Alfaholics cars go for as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what we've got this. So Paul's 35 to 40. It's.
Well, I think some of the Alfaholics cars are getting on for 10 times that amount. So,
absolutely.
I mean, admittedly, they're very, very, very highly developed and very specialist.
Of course,
machines,
it's a different thing to this, yeah. So it's.
But again, just a lovely, lovely thing. So, and what I love about this auction is we've just got such a diverse range of makes and eras and everything. So, Amilcar.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to talk about it, aren't we? So, this is a absolutely adorable 1924 Amilcar CGS. So it was restored in Britain. I think it was found in Britain, if I remember rightly. It was found in the Surrey area a long time ago. And I don't think it had its correct engine, but they've put a correct style 1100cc side valve engine in it. And it just, I took it for a quick run along there because I couldn't help myself. I've always wanted to have a go in one of these. And it is like driving a tiny French torpedo.
Well, you've got the staggered seating, which was very much where your riding mechanic would have sat, and very typical of 1920s race car design. Do we know who that's King George the whatever?
That'd be the 5th, wouldn't it? Yeah, George the 5th. There you go.
Fair enough. But I mean, just pretty thing.
Yeah.
And again, you know,
vintage Monterey.
Yeah.
Could use it there, couldn't you?
Lovely condition.
For the SEC light car events, and you know, you could go and use it on all that sort of thing, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
And I think it comes with a registration as well. Yeah. Great reg.
Yeah, very cool. That's.
If you're on a budget, it's the closest you can get to a Bugatti without. I know it's engineering-wise they are leagues apart. Okay, but if you want that sort of look, then
yeah, very much so. So, no, I mean, just lovely thing. And, I mean, this Morris 8 is unusually good for one of these.
Yeah.
Just because they're not typically worth restoring to this standard.
No.
So, this is a nice car.
Yeah, it really is. And there's no reserve as well, which is, you know, so if you think... It'll be interesting to see what it goes for, won't it, given that it's, you know, its condition. So, I mean, we haven't seen one like that for a while, have we?
It's just a great mix. Yeah. So, I mean, you know... XK150, that's been restored. The Big Healy, that's been restored. The Big Healy's interesting because that was done by a marque specialist 20 odd years ago. And you can tell when they've been done properly, they last.
Of course they do.
If you just look at the panel fit on that, you know, the way the door shut, everything.
Yeah,
you know,
nothing sagged or anything, has it? It hasn't moved.
It's just been very nicely done.
Yeah.
And this Dart's interesting because, okay, the condition's not the same as the Healey, but this was an experimental car.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
automatic gearbox.
It's like, like a police spec then, pretty much.
It was a factory experimental car. So, you know, and again, that glorious sounding Edward Turner designed Hemi V8.
Yeah.
And just an interesting thing.
This would make a nice thing to improve upon for somebody as well, wouldn't it? Dino Spider. When you think how much they cost if they're in good fettle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they, you know, in good fettle on the continent, well over 100,000 euros now.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's guided, I think, 43 to 48. So there is certainly room to improve it. It's had a lot of engine work in the current ownership.
Yeah.
Part of the William Hunt collection. As you say, definitely room for improvement, but
has it been in the UK for a long time as well? Because I'm looking at the reg on it being the 60s.
No, it's been in the UK only since the mid-90s.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It looks like it might have been around in the 60s actually. Because they never did. Did they do right-hand drive ones? I don't think they did they? No.
So, but for a reissued plate, it's quite nice.
Yeah. It looks like the sort of thing that Peter Sellers would have.
Yeah.
Because he was a big fan of them, from my understanding, wasn't he? So
again, that Alfa GTV, hyper original car. So never been restored.
I haven't even actually looked at it yet, you know.
Have a look,
so right,
honestly.
okay. It's never been restored.
Never been restored.
Okay.
Just absolutely loved by the original owner. Absolutely. So again, that'd be a long day's march before you find another one in that condition. So it's the 4-cylinder, it's the 2-litre 4-cylinder rather the 2.5-litre V6, but
condition.
Yeah.
I mean, has it had paint?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know, but it's just never been allowed to deteriorate to the point of needing restoration.
Wow.
It's just a very, very nice
thing. And obviously, you know, Alfas were notorious for being completely rot-proof.
Yes. So, no,
wow.
But a pretty car. So, again, great choice. You've got the RS2000 up there, the GTV down here, and the Horstman.
This is probably my favourite of the sale.
I think it's got character aplenty, hasn't it? It really has.
Yeah.
And again, I think we were talking about this earlier. It's a better looking car in the metal
than in the photographs. I mean, we've got the hood down. The hood's going to need redoing on this, but I think it looks like all the original frames, which we've tried to sort of get down as much as possible. But now it's got the hood off, and we can see it as a Tourer. It just looks like a very fine car and very comfortable as well. When I was sat in it earlier, it's a great driving position for a vintage. You don't get it in the photos, but the curves of the sides, almost like sort of Barker barrel side to it. It's almost like a baby 20, isn't it?
The scuttle and stuff. It's just
you know.
And that
1.5 litre Anzani engine, so not a particularly complicated engine either.
No.
And it's come from, I remember Oliver telling me, who consigned it, it's come from a lady whose family are the Horstman family.
Okay.
So, and I think she bought it a lot. Yeah. And she, bought it just as obviously as a tribute to her family, and it's sat in a on static display for a long time, so it will need recommissioning, but it make a genuinely unusual vintage Tourer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So from a few angles, this might look like a standard 1964 Morgan +4. However, this is actually a very rare motor car because this is a super sports. So the super sports was usually, the cars were dispatched to Lawrence Tune, Christopher Lawrence, and then they were fitted with more powerful engines, big Weber carburetors, and specifically Weber 42 DCOEs. And the reason being is because he got a really good deal from, I think, Maranello concessionaires at the time, which meant that he fit the Italian carbs that nobody else was using. This has the correct carburetors on it, and that's how you distinguish between a super sports and just a standard +4. They're a lot more powerful, highly eligible, again, race cars. I mean...
Well, I was going to say, it's Chris Lawrence won his class at Le Mans, didn't he?
Yeah.
With TOC 258, I think it is. And, a lot of the lessons learnt from that went into the Supersport. So this is I think the very, very early Supersports had the high-line bodywork. This has got the low-line bodywork.
Yep.
It sounds a bit counterintuitive to talk about a Morgan and aerodynamics, but you know, this is the low line.
Yeah.
I think they're predominantly aluminium, aren't they?
They are,
that
yeah,
was another
correct.
thing
Yeah.
of the Supersport was they're predominantly aluminium, and this one, because you consigned it, and the chap's had it forever.
He has, yeah. He's had it since I think 1970,
Wow.
if I recall.
Wow.
And you know, you can tell it's been in long-term ownership because although it's obviously, you know, it's had paint, obviously, but I'm pretty confident that this is the original interior.
Okay.
They're very unusual. It's very unusual to see a Supersports in road trim anyway, because obviously most of them have been stripped down and turned into race cars long ago, so they're missing all of their proper bits and pieces. But this is just, I think, as it should be, and shows it. So there is patination. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's, to me, that's how I'd want to see something like that.
Yeah.
And, he's unfortunately having to sell it now because he's a serial offender. He's got a few Morgans, has sold a few Morgans off as well. He's just got to the stage now where he has to sell it because of his age.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they're not the easiest things to get in and out of.
No.
But I mean, just a great sports car. And I love the kind of anachronism behind it. I mean, they looked, I mean, it's a 1936 design.
Yep.
First time Morgan got brave and put four wheels on a car, and then they just evolved it through time. But you know, these were genuinely fast cars in the 60s. You know, that was be surprise an E-Type, not quicker than an E-Type, but you surprise an E-Type with it.
Won his class at Le Mans.
Yeah. You know. So, and again, I love the fact with this auction we've got so many doubling up of bits and pieces. So you know, tale of two E-Types. Here's this car, which I mean, the other one is 5 miles out of a total extensive restoration. This one is, you can just, it's careworn, it's just loved, it's been kept going, very, very original, very authentic.
Yeah, again, I think it's got most of its original interior, this car.
Yeah.
And you can tell it, you know, yesterday when I drove it in here, it seemed to, you know, it seemed to want to get up and go essentially.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the price point reflects its condition in comparison, but I mean, if personally, if I was going to have one of the two, I'd probably have this one just because I could use it. But
in terms of usability, I mean,
I'm not a collector though, so that's
the other one is so fresh and so sharp that
completely different thing.
You park it anywhere, you're going to have kittens.
Yeah, absolutely.
This less. You know, this is it's scruffy in places, but it's all of a piece. It's just got a nice feel to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is the 4.2 obviously as well, so it's like bigger engine, more torque.
Better gearbox, yeah.
Does 150 miles an hour according to the press, of course.
Yes. So no, just again, wonderful 60s icon. As is.
As is
the Type 14 you've consigned.
Absolutely. So this is a Series 2 version of the Type 14 Elite. These, if you don't know much about the Elites, it was Lotus's first proper attempt at a road car, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could drive a Mark 6 Lotus on the road, but this was the first one that had proper enclosed bodywork. I think they were described by the motoring press, or Colin Chapman probably, the great salesman that he was, as being a race car for the road.
Oh,
and that's what they are.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, very, very novel as a total glass fibre monocoque.
Yeah.
You know, very, very advanced, very lightweight. Again, you know, class winner at Le Mans for, you must have got bored if you were the opposition turning up if there was Elite in the,
absolutely.
listings. You know, very, very, very quick car for an 1100, you know, that great Coventry Climax engine.
Yeah, Coventry Climax FWE. And this one, actually, this particular car has been uprated to SE spec with the big Weber carburetors on it as well. It originally had SUs on them.
Yeah, I'm aware, you know, some of them had MG gearboxes, some of them ZF boxes.
This has got an MG gearbox, this one.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, just really, really very, very pretty. It was Peter Cohen Taylor, I think, who was styled these. I mean,
I think Frank Costin had quite a lot to do with it as well, didn't he? With the aerodynamic side of things, because he also he did Sebring sprites at the same time, and quite a few of the Costin designed Sebring sprites are very similar in design, although they're made out of aluminium, obviously, because you know that's what they did, and they'd be built by like Pill Coachworks or somebody like that. And obviously, so both Jim Clark and Les Leston raced these Imperia, didn't they? Les Leston, is it Daddy-O?
Yes.
Reg number, if I recall.
Yeah.
So, but then this one has been raced as well. So this one, it went over to Germany for a long time, where I understand it was raced. There's not a lot of paperwork covering that period, but it does have a German identity plate on the inner wing, which shows that it was over there at some point. And it came back and got that great reg back, so it doesn't look like it's left the country, really.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous.
So we've already spoken to you about one green Aston Martin V8 Vantage, so let's talk to you about another one. So what's the situation with this beautiful Volante variant then, Damien?
This is a car that was treated to a very, very extensive, photographically documented, bare metal restoration by Trinity Engineering, a marque specialist, in the very early 2000s. It was originally an American car, so left to right conversion.
Was it really? Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
But these, as you know, with a steel platform chassis, aluminium bodywork on top, they do suffer from electrolytic corrosion.
Yeah.
So there are advantages to get a car from an American dry state.
Absolutely.
So that's what was done with this. And you can see, I mean, I think Trinity did a fabulous job. You know, that's been done 24 years now.
Really?
And, yeah, still very sharp. It's done 20-something thousand miles since the restoration. Just been through an MOT with no advisories. Just a very, very elegant car. It's got a few Prince of Wales spec features on it. So the Ronald wheels, the way the front grille's been treated, various other aspects, some of the interior detailing. But yeah, just a lovely, lovely thing. And from British glamour to American glamour.
Yeah, I know. Sizable, I think the word is.
Yes.
And you don't see very many of these, do you? Is it 1948, is it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
And just a fabulous, fabulous thing. I mean, you know, Lincoln, Ford's premier brand, their attempt to upmarket, these Continentals, wonderful, smooth V12 engine. Just a very, very elegant thing.
I mean, they are on another level, really. I mean, even like details like this. Finger light opens the door for you.
Or that radio.
Yeah. It's quite ahead of its time, really, because if you think it's got a lot of almost, 50s features, really.
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah,
1948.
Yeah. I mean, power windows. I mean, the Americans were early on with power windows, power seats, power hood, power,
Yeah.
So, in terms of value for money, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, some of these were actually sold new in Britain, I think, weren't they, if I recall? I think the United States Embassy used to have them. I mean, imagine driving around in your Hillman Minx, right? You think, oh, I've done well for myself, because obviously it was relatively unusual to have a motor car back then. And then one of these pulls up at the lights next to you. You would just... You'd want to give up, wouldn't you? I know I would.
Well,
even today, if this pulled up next to me, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, no, they're just a great thing. And then, just you get that often known as a Continental kit with the rear mounted spare wheel that's, almost behind the body.
Yeah.
So just fabulous details. And then, of course, this is 40s. By the time they get to the 50s,
10 years later.
Very restrained, aren't they? I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's amazing, really, how
gone very
conservative.
Demure. Yeah. I mean, you'd not notice that if it drew. I mean, they're tiny. I mean, such a subtle motor car.
Exactly. I mean, Lincoln's great competitor, isn't it?
Yeah,
Cadillac.
Absolutely, absolutely. And no, this is from '58, so we're into the jet age with these amazing tail fins. They're not quite as OTT as the '59, but they're still very much a statement piece.
No, much more subtle.
And again, just very, very, very luxurious. In the UK, we're making do with manual adjustment for the windows, the seats, manual gearbox. In the States, it's automatic, pretty much everything.
Everything, yep.
Yeah. So again, this has been restored, and you can see it's held up well, and just a fabulous, fabulous machine.
Acres of room in there as well, isn't there?
Yeah. And those kind of metallic interior finishes that the Americans did that we didn't get so much over here. But again, just a stunning
Almost
machine.
looks like snakeskin, doesn't it, on the... and then this beautiful wall as well.
Well, yeah, and those wrap-around windscreens give you that proper goldfish bowl view of the world. And
that you always hit your knees on.
Yes.
As you get in.
Yes.
Not that I've ever done that before, and it really hurts when you do it, obviously.
No. And then behind it, this Silver Cloud 3, I mean, that's unusual because first owner of that owned a studio, had various A-list celebrities as friends, and mindful of them being photographed, he spec'd the car with a non-reflective interior, a paparazzi-friendly interior.
Oh, is that why, did it?
So there are no reflective surfaces. That's why the door cappings, the dashboard, everything. So if people are being papped in this, it wouldn't reflect off.
We better show you, hadn't we? So unlike, no veneered woodwork in here at all. This is all trimmed exactly the same colour and material as the rest of the...
oh yeah, I mean, it even extended. This has been lost, but when the car was new, the horn push in the steering wheel was covered in leather. So there was literally nothing to reflect off. I mean, it's even the wood veneer picnic tables are leather covered instead, just to make sure that, if he or his occupants were papped, there was no reflection. And then obviously you can tell it's the 60s because you've got your holder for your wine flutes if you happen to have a something worth drinking in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. And so wasn't it Twickenham Studios?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which if anybody knows their music history, that's Twickenham Studios is where the Beatles filmed the. I can't remember the name of the sessions now, which I should know, considering how much of a music buff I am. The Let It Be sessions, if you like, which have now been released on Disney, I think, and they are filmed at Twickenham Studios, aren't they? So this car was probably parked outside at the time.
Very likely, especially since the first owner was slightly notorious for the parties he threw. So
very cool.
Yeah, and this car, it's had about £80,000 spent on it in restoration. I think it's about 40,000 was spent on a bare metal bodywork restoration. It's been retrimmed, repainted, the mechanical's gone through. It's just a nice thing.
Very cool. So what were you telling me earlier about this Defender? It's effectively brand new.
Well, it's been entered by the original owner.
Right.
He's got a farm, grew up with a series land, he's on the farm. When he heard they were going to end production of the Defender, he spec'd what he thinks is a farmer's. So it's a pickup.
Cool.
There's no leather upholstery, no automatic gearbox, no big stereo.
Yeah.
It is just a basic spec. So it's on the painted steel wheels.
Yeah.
It's still got the original factory distribution tag. So this was supplied new by Gally Simon of Maidstone. If you looked underneath, the original stickers from GKN for the chassis are in place. It's done 124 miles from you. It might be 125 now.
Okay, we can't say it's brand new, but it's as close as you're going to get.
Absolutely exceptional. And then, other end of the spectrum, we've got this Delage D8 120. This is,
it's awesome.
They're never quite sure whether they made 66 of these or maybe as much as 100, but in period, this was a rival to a Bugatti Type 57.
Yeah.
Now this car's been turned into a special, so they've shortened the chassis, it's got a homemade body on it, but underneath all that is a 4.7 litre straight A overhead valve engine, the Coachbuilt 4-speed electromagnetic gearbox, proper French thoroughbred.
Yeah.
But you know a bit more about this 2025.
I do. So this one, I pulled a Rolls-Royce restorer in Scotland referred this car to me. It's been in the collection for a very, very long time, and this is a Thrupp and Mabley built 3-position drop head coupe. So Thrupp and Mabley, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinions, was one of the best coach builders in periods in the UK. They were built by the Roots Group, so not that my Humber tie gives anything away today, but I do. I've got a big thing about Roots cars, as everybody probably knows, and it just is a fabulous thing. It's an older restoration now. It's going to need a little bit of work to it, but it's a well-loved car, and one of the previous lady owners, because of its obvious reliability issues that it had, named it Hiccup 4 after 3 of her previous Rolls-Royces that she had had.
Oh, okay.
So there's a plaque on the dashboard that says that.
Well,
but,
I mean, but that argues they were all equally capable of failing to proceed.
Exactly, and it's offered without reserve as well. So
I love some of the detailing. So you've got this letterbox windscreen.
Yeah.
You've got the slightly angled louvers extended through to the firewall. You've got this neat trunk at the back, so it's not that dissimilar to the Gurney nutting design.
No, it's not. No, I think
the
the Gurney nutting, the trunk's separate, if I remember rightly, isn't it? But that's about it, really.
But it's an elegant thing, and as you say, no reserve.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shoot me for saying it. I think that's slightly more elegant than this Bentley. Derby Bentley's lovely. It's had a lot of work put into it. Huge amount of restoration in more modern times.
I do love the fact, though, that this has all of its ace wheel discs and everything on it. The polished ace wheel discs, they set this car off. Because most people, when they see, a cream or a white Bentley, what's the first thing that you think nowadays?
Wedding.
Yeah. This car, in the metal, when you see it, it doesn't look like that, in my opinion. No. And it's got, it's lovely, and a lot of people, I think what we do nowadays, we are all guilty of it, is that we get an old car that should have been in a colour like this, and you immediately change it to something that's more attractive because you think everybody else is going to think that you're a bit too out there. Most people would have probably painted this green, Bentley green, or they would have painted it maroon, or something just a little bit more subtle.
As you say, it works really well with the interior.
Yeah,
and you can just imagine that car on the French Riviera, or
absolutely,
on a day like today.
Where
you've got the blue sky, beautiful sunshine, and you just look £1 million.
Pulling up next to your lovely Art Deco yacht. So
and tell me about these pegs.
So most the people aren't going to agree with me, but this is a very fine quality car, or at least it was anyway. So hear me out. Pegs is a completely unique car that was built by a chap in Acton who used to work for Rolls-Royce.
Okay.
So quite a history, I suppose, quite a provenance. So he decided that he was going to acquire a Gwyn chassis, a Gwyn Albert chassis, we believe, and this may be the sole surviving 14 horse, but that's all hearsay anyway. So he then decided to essentially make his own car. So this car in period was designed to look like an Invicta S type. He fitted it with a Sunbeam 20 engine, or a 16.9 or whatever the engine is. And he put a hydraulic jacking system on it. So that's what this reservoir at the front is on the apron. Okay. Most people were asking me about that.
Yeah.
And he built it. And the reason why it's named Pegs is because it was named after his fiancée at the time, who he later married.
So but he wasn't happy with it just having a decent sized straight 6 overhead valve engine.
No.
Wanted to go a bit further.
Yeah, well, so... No, right, okay. So this is where we've got to be careful. So the vendor acquired this car from a museum after it was restored in the 1970s. So admittedly, this stuff isn't quite as attractive as it was. I've got photographs of this in the Motor magazine in the early 1930s.
Oh, wow.
And it was aluminium bodied, aluminium skinned, okay, with a really, really rakish windscreen, with a lovely steering wheel, which it still has, by the way, but not fitted to the car.
Okay.
An outside gear change, and a very slightly different rear end. So it was renovated in the 70s and made to look like this. In my opinion, if I was going to buy it, I'd be taking it back to how it looked, because I just think it would make it. The current owner, he bought it, saved it from a museum. I think it went through a couple of auctions back in the 70s and 80s. Okay. He saved it from the museum, and he thought, I really like the look of that. I can do something with it. His intention was to use it for VSCC events, which it has. It is eligible for. It's all been marked and carded and everything. It's supplied with that. So the engine bay, I mean, I'll try and show you actually. This is the best thing to do here. So obviously this is a very long space. So there's your Sunbeam engine. And this space here, which as you can see is now a whacking great big roots type blower, was completely empty. we're pretty sure that it probably had a blower-in period, because one of an ancestor of the original owner, Mr. Venus, actually said that there's documentation and a letter on file to say that it was fitted with a turbocharger. Obviously, they didn't have turbochargers back then, so we're pretty sure that it must be a supercharger. So this was actually fitted by Tim Dutton, no less.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A Bugatti
the Bugatti man, yeah. And all piped up and everything. And he said he's had it running last year, and he drove it round his farm, but it will need obviously recommissioning and everything. But I think what an interesting car it would make.
Fascinating one-off.
Yeah.
As you say, to take it back to its early 30s configuration,
yeah,
its magazine featured configuration, it would just be wonderful.
Yeah. And you can tell the bloke knew what he was doing when he was putting it together. I mean, all the steering geometry's right. When when you sit in it, it does feel like a proper car.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel thrown together like some specials do. So it's I think it's fabulous. But I'm very interested. No reserve, so I'm because you can't put a price on that, can you, really?
No.
So it'd be very interesting to see what that does. See what you think. So obviously we've only shown you a selection of the lots that we've got in. As we said, I think there's 127 in the sale. So we've shown you a small cross section.
We wanted to show you all of them, but Martin, our cameraman, just objected. So
exactly.
Said something about us waffling on and needing too much editing.
However, if you do want to find out more information about any of the lots that we've offered, or find out about any lots that we have that we haven't shown you, that you might have seen in the background or whatever, then please visit our website, www.h&h.co.uk. If you go onto the sales listing, if you do have any questions about any of the particular lots in the sale that you think, it wasn't quite answered by the description or the photographs, then if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see that it's got the consigning specialists' name, number, email address, etc., etc. So please feel free to send us through something to that. If you do want to register to bid, you can find registration details on the website, or alternatively, please telephone us at our head office and they'll be happy to assist you. And you can register to bid either online, via the telephone, or if you're coming here, then you can register to bid in person as well. We have a bidders registration desk here, and you can go and see any of the guys on that desk and they will help you with any of the queries that you have. But for now, if you are interested in bidding on something, good luck. You might need it because there's a lot of people here and I'm sure there's going to be some fierce competition. And maybe if we can't tempt you this time, I hope that we can tempt you next time, maybe at our Buxton sale in the future. See you tomorrow, or see you then.
Or see you tomorrow, and then see you next week as well at the National Motorcycle Museum.
If you're into
selling
motorcycles.
over 300 motorcycles. But if you can make it to either sale, it'd be great to see you. Thanks.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you.